lead as we head to the fourth quarter here, Logan, in front of UNLV by 7. Aggies shut out in that third quarter, trying to run the record to 4-1, getting a test from the visitors from Las Vegas. On 3rd and long, Keaton goes to work. Screen into the hands of Williams. Blockers in front, and he could go. Williams breaks the tackle by Vea. Touchdown, Aggies.
Chucky Keaton, they called a screen. UNLV read it, but look at the speed of Curran Williams. They know it's coming, they're responding to it, but you give him some daylight. Curran Williams, top end speed's going. Vea tries right there, let go, so he didn't get the face mask call, and that play is over from the start. Him in open field equals 6.
He had a career game, 205 yards rushing against Colorado State, career game receiving, 147 through the air, and that touchdown here against UNLV. And he's dealing with a high altitude now, but a happy man, up by 2 touchdowns.
I mean, look at this. The defense sees it. Look at the response. They see it, but look at the great block in Austin. Matt Austin getting out there, getting a hat, but Kerwin Williams does the rest. And we kind of talked about the defense when you pound. Well, this UNLV defense has played the rush very well. So you have to be creative and find different ways to get your back the ball. And that's exactly what Matt Wells did in that situation with that screen. He takes it to the house. And Kerwin Williams, with that speed, any open field, he's going to get in the end zone.
Kerwin Williams, according to Gary Anderson, has really become a team player. He's evolved into a leader. He's unselfish. He could have hung his head not playing behind Robert Turbin. But now he's the guy, as a senior, that's the heart and soul of this team.
And the thing about it is, the 2 backs in front of him are in the NFL. The way he plays, he can be in the NFL. Think of Darren Sproles and these other small, quick backs with great speed. When you have that top end speed and catch the ball at the backfield, run between the tackles, you definitely can play on in the NFL on Sundays.
A career-long 74-yard touchdown reception as Bentrud's kick goes through the end zone for the touchback. From Las Vegas, special game for him, obviously. UNLV did not make an offer. He mentioned that this week, but I think he has bigger things on his plate. He wants to go to a bowl game and win this year after their loss last year.
Right, but you hit a key point because as players, you always have to have an edge. There has to be something that motivates you, some little caveat. And I remember I always thought about the places that didn't recruit me, didn't talk to me, didn't do those things. It made a big deal for me.
Keaton now is 320 through the air, now up by 14 points. UNLV on offense. Randall trying to get to the outside. Breaks a tackle, and he turns that into a 3-yard pickup up to the 28-yard line.
Randall has speed himself, using it to get outside when there seemed to be nothing there. Devin Lawson making a good play by stringing out such a fast back. That's about the only thing you can do, and try to hope for help. Stretch him out so he can't go north and south.
427 yards of total offense for Utah State already as we open up this fourth quarter. And that is a career high number for Keaton, by the way, 320 through the air. Here's Randall again on 2nd down and a couple yards up to the 30. Keaton's previous high was 304 yards against Southern Utah in the opener this year.
Right. And Chucky's is playing well. You look at these plays, and I'm taking nothing away from this UNL defense. They play tough. But Chucky, offense coordinator, Matt Wells, they've done a good job of putting him in situations to succeed. And that's why they have the points on the board.
They want the football back. The Aggies defense trying to do that for him. 3rd and 3. Sherry changes it up at the line of scrimmage. Flushed out of the pocket. Throws on the run. Catch made. Fumble. Recovered by the Aggies. It was caught by Davis and recovered by Jake Downing.
big play on both sides of the ball. You see right there, Devontae Davis trying to create something. Nick Sherry avoids the pressure, almost sacks, steps up to it, makes a big-time throw. But right here, he's trying to do just a little too much. The ball gets stripped away from him. And Doherty does the rest by jumping on it. You can see right there the strong safety, Brian Sweet, making that strip.
And Dowdy jumped on the football, and a costly turnover for Devontae Davis. And now with 13:20 to go, the Aggies have a chance to really create some space here. First lost fumble by the Rebels all year long.
Right now they're going to take a look at it. The only way I can see this overturned is if they say that the receiver, Davis, did not have possession or make a football move after catching the ball. And that's right now, that's what Coach Hoke is trying to figure out. He watches, nice climb in the pocket, catches the ball right there. He doesn't complete a step, but the question is, do they consider that a football move? So did he actually have a chance to possess it? You know, that's a bang-bang play right there. To me, it looks like he caught it and he made a football move. But that's if.
Well, that's frame by frame right there.
That's frame by frame. So there could be evidence to overturn that. There could be overturn, because when you're watching it live, it was a bang-bang. It looked like he had made a full movement, took a step forward. But as you watch this, he doesn't completely take a step forward. He catches it. Now watch that right foot and watch the 40-yard line. As that ball's already coming out, the foot doesn't even get to the 40-yard line. His left foot doesn't move. So that does give it the possibility they could overturn that.
Okay, but keep this in mind. Even if that's overturned, that's an incomplete pass. It would be fourth down and long. So
right,
it would be, the Aggies would still be getting the football back.
Right, but it's better for UNLV if you're punting to them and having them start on the 20 than getting the ball on your own 40. So we'll see. But like I said, that it can go either way. That play can go either way. I know which way Coach Anderson would like it to go.
No, you know, there have been a lot of penalties in this one. And sometimes, you know, when you get in a physical game like this, there's so much emotion spent on some of those things get out of hand.
Yes.
There has been sellout on both sides in terms of the effort. And you wouldn't expect anything less from Bobby Houck right here and then Anderson on the other sideline and the kids they coach.
Well, and the thing about it is both these coaches preach physicality. But as a player, that also means you have to be smart. And what we've seen is we're not faulting these kids for being aggressive and the tenacity and playing with fire. But you have to know when the whistle is. You have to know the position you need to be in. And that's the thing about it that I think Coach Anderson is gonna talk about, because he's like, guys, I like your fire, but we had way too many penalties tonight.
Here's Eddie Shelton with the call here.
After further review, the ruling is an incomplete pass. It will be UNLV's ball.
So an incomplete pass
from the 32
is the call. It did not make a football move, apparently.
Right, and when we have the advantage, the people here don't that are booing, we have the advantage of watching that frame by frame, and you can see his left foot stayed planted, his right foot never even crossed the 40-yard line. So you can see there was no movement. But yet it looked bang-bang when you look at it live.
They had enough to overturn it, so an incomplete pass. It is fourth down. Now it's 4th and 3. They're in punt formation. Lansford, they will punt it away from the 22. A high hanging kick, a beauty. Webb at the 14 fields it, and he's hit right away at the 17-yard line. So the Aggies do have the football on their side of the field now with 13:09 to go. Utah State trying to win their 9th regular season game in 10 tries, trying to move the record to 4-1, up by 14 on home turf. A career game for Kerwin Williams. Utah State on homecoming has a 14-point advantage as we near the 13-minute mark in this one. Aggies from the 18 on this series after the punt. Handoff to Williams, and he's nearing that century mark on the ground as he takes it for 3 yards to the 21. 97 rushing, 147 receiving the WAC's best all-purpose guy.
Well, you can see as he limps off the field, he is definitely getting his work. He's going to need a cold tub at the end of this game.
Yeah, Tyler Larson and Kerwin Williams limping off. So the starting center and running back. And you wonder if that's cramping at this stage with 12:40 to go. Keaton standing in there, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted. That ball hung in the air.
Now, Trey, we talked about this in open. I said the big thing about Chucky is his ability this year to stand in the pocket more. That was the second instance where he stood in the pocket, the middle of the pocket open. He climbed it a little bit. I felt he needed to run. The lane was there. The receiver wasn't open. He should have ran that play.
It was Tyler Gaston, the 6'3 junior from North Las Vegas, got his hand on his arm. Third down and long now. Pressure coming. Keaton setting up the screen. It's caught. It's Hill. He's loose. Midfield. Joe Hill to the 20. And he's finally knocked down inside the 15-yard line. The passing game to the running backs has been sensational. Taj Hassan on the tackle. And Hill is down. He's hurt near the 10.
Look at this dialed up screen. Chucky does a good job, plays it off, zips it in there, and then Joe Hill does the rest. They got UNLV in the right defense for this play to be effective, and he gets down the sideline, makes a big play. Now he just has to, that's part fatigue, and when you run that long and you get somebody jumping on your back like that, that's definitely going to hurt you a little bit.
65-yard pass play, quarterback to running back, and Keaton now has thrown for 385 yards, and a huge chunk of that to Hill and to Kerwin Williams.
And that's the thing about it. You look at it. He had a nice seam pass to Chuck Jacobs there in the second quarter that led to the touchdown. Jacobs broke tackles. But, okay, he right there, as I look at that, to me, it looks like his bell is rung a little bit. It looks like the way he's staggering.
.230 of the receiving yards by Hill and Williams. 230 out of the 385 through the air.
Yes, the coach did a good job. Stop him. Don't let him do that. I know guys want to be brave sometimes. Sometimes it's best to walk slow, let somebody just carry you off. You don't want to do more damage.
Williams back on now. First down at the 14. Keaton short drop. And he's sacked back at the 20-yard line. That is Sonny Sanatoa, a redshirt freshman from Pago Pago, American Samoa, dropping him.
And that was a play right there where Chucky dropped back, was waiting for the play to develop. Kevin Whitfee did not block him very effectively. Allowed that sack.
Nearing the 11-minute mark, 2nd and 14 now for the Aggies. Handoff to Williams, and he cannot bounce it to the outside. Short gain, Tim Hassan, the junior from Las Vegas, outside linebacker on the tackle. Now it's third down.
Can't say enough about these outside linebackers. Now, granted, when Kerwin Williams gets in an open space, they're no match for him. But these guys fly around to the ball with great tenacity, and they fill holes quick.
3rd and 13 now. Another score would really help out the Aggies here. Let's see if they play it safe here from the 17. Keaton with an empty backfield looking to throw it over the middle. He's got his man. Touchdown, Jacobs. And the Aggies break this one open with 10:48 to go.
You're going to see right here, Chucky Keating with that motion does the same play that Jacob scored the touchdown in the second quarter. It pulls the safety out, and it opens it up. It's an easy read for Chucky. You notice he's keying the safety. He wasted no time on that throw, just like he did in the second quarter, to lead to a touchdown.
3 touchdown passes for Keaton. Jacobs has 2 of them. Thompson for the extra point, and it's no good. Off to the right. And it remains a 33-13 game. 6 plays, 82 yards, and it has been the aerial attack from Utah State that has been the story here. Keaton with 402 yards through the air. Jacobs cashes in on the last one. Looking at the Utah State University herd, the student section, they have been vocal. They've been loud here at homecoming. Wide out, the first ever. And Chucky Keaton hooking up with Jacobs for the second time tonight.
Yeah, and you can see right there, it pulls the safety out because of the motion, and it allows Jacobs to be wide open there. It's the same identical play that he scored on in the second quarter.
Jacobs, 4 catches, 101 yards. Kerwin Williams has 147 receiving. That's the best production by a running back receiving since, let's go back here, Jay, 1959.
Oh, my goodness.
A little bit before my time.
Just a touch.
Ben Trude from the 35. Johnson across the 15, turns the corner, and run out of bounds near the 27-yard line. Uphill battle now for UNLV as Ben Trude, the kicker, got down there to make the play. Well, the Rebels were looking very good within 7 through 3 quarters, and then quick strike offense from Utah State.
Well, that's the thing about it. The defense has played stout except for a few plays. But that's the thing about it. When you have a tough defense, the way you become a great defense is you don't give up the big plays. And that's kind of what has hurt UNLV. They've played them tough, but they've given up big plays.
They've been in every game prior to this one. They've had a chance in late stages in their first 4 games at home. Catch made by Devontae Davis. Will Davis on the tackle after a 6-yard pickup. Second and short coming up.
But you hit a good point right there, Trey. They played every game tough, but remember, the first 4 games were at home. So they've kept everybody close. This is the first road test. And now they can see they can play, but they can't make mental mistakes.
And this isn't any road game. This is a tough crowd to play in front of. Sherry delivers a strike caught by the tight end Phillips for a first down to the 40. He put that one right on the money. There wasn't a lot of space to put that ball in there.
At all. And you're seeing why they're so excited about this young quarterback. He redshirted last year, so he's a redshirt freshman. As he starts to grow, this offense is going to become more dynamic.
First down from the 40 now. 4 receiver look for the Rebels. Trying to speed things up, trailing by 20. Slant pattern, and that's busted up. Intended for Devontae Davis. Will Davis was there. They have had quite a one-on-one battle tonight.
Davis has been going at each other. In that kind of situation, Nick Sherry needs to help his receiver out a little bit more and throw it a little bit back shoulder, knowing that the corner's going to drive up on it. Don't lead your receiver. Throw it a little behind your receiver.
Devontae has 4 catches for 80 yards. He's been their most productive receiver. But Will has had some moments as well. Pressure coming. Sherry lobs one up there and incomplete. Again, having to get rid of it with pressure coming to the outside. Terrell Thompson, the outside linebacker.
I think his elbow got hit a little bit on that, but what they're doing is a delayed dime blitz. So the 2 corners that are on the slot receivers are coming as the ball is snapped. But he is cool as silk. He is standing in that pocket. He's seeing them coming. And because of the size, he can get rid of that ball.
Man, this is where the Aggies love to be on defense. 3rd and 10. Fackrell showing blitz. They send a couple guys over the middle. It's deflected and incomplete. Intended for Herring through his hands. That would have been a first down. Jake Dowdy on the coverage.
Herring has to make that catch. Nick Sherry did everything right. Saw the delayed blitz. Got the ball out. You got to help your young quarterback out.
Here's a look at Glover Wright, who is also a backup quarterback now at Utah State. They have him as an emergency option. He'll run some option for him. He's a DB as well. But Adam Kennedy, their backup, injured in the opener, shoulder injury. He's eligible for a medical red shirt. And Glover Wright, a guy that they are glad to have behind Chucky Keaton and on defense. Webb calling for a fair catch, and he makes it on the Lansford punt at the 14. 9:31 to go, and Utah State appears to be in control here. The question now, Jay, how good a year can this be? I mean, they go to 4-1. They're at BYU. They could be 5-1, get the wagon wheel back, and then the trip to San Jose State the next week. We'll be there in the Bay Area for that one.
Well, you know, you always hear talk about like in the SEC and the gauntlet of going through some games. Well, right now, Utah State's getting ready to go into a gauntlet of games. You talk about a tough game at BYU. It's never easy to play there. And then to go to San Jose State that's playing very well today. As mentioned, they beat Navy on the road, so they're going to have to play a lot cleaner than they did tonight. These penalties, if they have these penalties in the next 2 weeks, they'll have losses.
You think that'll be a point of emphasis in the coaches' meetings between games? Here's Williams on the left side carry. He's over 100 yards now rushing as he takes it up to the 23-yard line.
Completely. And like I said, he's not going to fault the kids for their effort. The effort has been there, but you have to be smart with your effort. You cannot let your emotions take over. If you're a DB like we saw in the situation with Nevin Lawson, getting upset because you get cut blocked, you can't sit up there and jam the receiver in the face. You can't do those types of things. You have to be a smarter team. And I think that's what he's going to have to focus on this week because they have 2 very tough games.
Anderson now in his 3+ seasons, 24 100-yard rushers as Williams went over the century mark. He gets the carry again on 2nd and short and picks up the first down to the 26. What a job this guy has done. We've seen this program mature, Jay, covering this conference. 7-6 last year, first bowl trip in 15 years. He did it the right way. It wasn't easy. They had some stumbling blocks along the way.
Right. Some of their key guys were hurt. You know, you add in, just think about how much sweeter that season would have been if they would have been able to hold on to that win when they were at Auburn. But I think the attitude and the temperament that Coach Anderson has brought to this team is evident on the field because they're going into SEC country, Big Ten country, and they should have got out of there with 2 wins.
They lost by 2 points at Wisconsin, a tough loss. Their only loss this season. Williams again on the left side. But, you know, he engineered one of the top turnarounds. It's one of the programs, and you think of programs and when they are down and building them back up, he's a true program builder.
And when you say building programs, Trey, he is going everywhere. He's getting kids from Utah, kids from Texas, kids from Florida, kids from California, kids from Arizona. He is putting this program on map. In fact, they got a Nike contract, so they got different uniforms that they're making, just like Oregon. So he's doing all the right things to make this program relevant.
He's getting kids to the next level. Robert Turbin, Bobby Wagner at Seattle amongst that group. Pressure on the backside on Keaton, and he escapes it for a moment and then goes down at the 29-yard line. That was Fred Wilson, the nickelback that was coming strong on the backside.
And Fred was running. I know that feeling. When you're a corner, you don't get to blitz the quarterback so often. So if you get a chance, you really come and try to get him. And that's exactly what Fred Wilson was doing.
Your eyes lit up there. You were excited to see a corner try to run down a quarterback.
Oh,
that's
man.
not something you see very often.
Well, you know, you don't get too many free licks on them, so you got to take your shots.
J.A. corner at San Jose State and in the NFL. 3rd and 7 now. The Aggies will try to keep possession, run some more clock here. And it's Glover Wright taking the snap from center. The guy we talked about just moments ago on the option, and he gets a few yards to be short of the first down. He was a junior college quarterback at Eastern Arizona.
Yeah, that's the second play he got. The first play he handed it off in the first quarter. The Cardinals used Patrick Peterson in that same situation, and Devin Hester used to do it when he was a DB before they made him a receiver. And it's smart on the coaches. When you have a player that has speed, ability, you got to find ways to get them on the field so that they make plays, offense or defense.
Junior from Mableton, Georgia. They'll have to punt it away, though. Bennett, a booming kick. Sullivan backed up inside his 10, fields it at the 7. And down he goes at the 9. Can't play special teams much better than that. Tyler Bennett, an NFL-type leg, booms that one. And the Rebels will be starting deep in their own territory. 5:59 to go in this one. 33-13. It's their best start since 1978 as they have this one on cruise control, up by 20 points over UNLV. Rebels start from their 10-yard line on this possession. Pressure coming, and hit and sacked at the 1 is Sherry. Al Lapuaho, the senior from West Valley City, almost had a safety.
What a play. You're going to see him just bowl in from the left side of the screen, and he just does a stunt, comes around, and right there, Ron Scoggins didn't know that he had to block him. This is one of those things, he just went right around him, he missed him, got his quarterback sacked right there on the 1.
Tough kid from a family that had 8 brothers and 2 sisters. That'll toughen you up. 2 years at Snow Junior College, and he's an all-conference candidate this year in his senior year. And he'll try to hand it off, and Cornett is hit, and that will be a safety. And that is a team safety right there. 4 Aggies jumping all over Cornett, and they add 2 more points on the scoreboard.
That play was effective because of that sack, got him bunched up, so now all the defense has to do is bunch up. Right there you see the play by Kyler Fackrell getting in that backfield, didn't allow him to get out of there. Then Jake Doherty, Zach Virgil, the rest of them come in and clean it up. Big play right there by Kyler. He blew the fullback up in the backfield so that Cornett had nowhere to go.
Dowdy, Vigil, Fackrell, Fili Moiatu, they have been so active all season long. Coach Anderson ranting and raving, saying, you know, this team, they're unselfish, they're solid all the way through. They haven't had to blitz as much this year, but that speaks to their consistency on that side of the ball.
Well, they get the pressure from showing blitz, but yet still rushing 4. You just don't know what 4 is coming. That's the staple of the 3-4. A lot of people, you know, it started with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you know, Cardinals do it, the Ravens have it for me, all these different teams do it. It really wreaks havoc on offenses, especially once you start to get pinned back and having to force things, because they can mix so many things up, you just don't know where it's coming from.
35-13, and the Rebels will have to give the football back with just over 5 minutes to go. Coming into this game, Utah State 11th in the nation in total defense, second in the WAC. Number 1 WAC pass defense, number 1 WAC scoring defense, that's 20th in the nation. And again, a solid effort, only 13 points allowed tonight. The return for Jacobs now across the 40 and out of bounds near midfield. And you usually get good field position after a safety, and that's the case here.
Sure is. And, you know, right now, we kind of talked about it earlier, the drip effect. And then as the game progresses, things start to snap. And what we're seeing right now, this young UNLV team that's played 4 tough games at home, won 1 of them, lost 3 of them, going on the road against a very road-tested, home-tested, tough Utah State team. And what's happened is Utah State says, you know, we're more than one-dimensional. You stop us one way, we'll get another. And you can see right now they just had too many heavy blows, and it's kind of wearing this team out.
And Utah State growing up as a program, quickly coming off that bowl season. Handoff to Marshall, and he's hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. They've already beaten Utah, which was huge. First win over the Utes since 1997. They've been looking ahead a little bit, and you can't fault them to their game at BYU next week. And there was some concern this would be a trap game. Well, that hasn't transpired.
Well, it's huge because when you look at when we talked to Coach Anderson about rivalries, and he said in order for there to be a rivalry, you have to be good. And the school wasn't very good. Now that they're effective and they're good and they're beating people, now it becomes a rivalry. And so it's very important to him and this team to continue to play that they play. That's why they take the games. They travel to Wisconsin and Auburn.
You saw a new quarterback, number 14, Craig Harrison, now into the game for Keaton, and Harrison hands it off. And a nice game for Marshall down to the Rebels 42. He's a Snow Junior College product, sophomore from Grantsville, Utah. 6'2", 203 pounds, more of a passer, whereas you saw Glover Wright, more of the option quarterback. But because Kennedy's injured, they have to rely on those 2 guys if Keaton can't go.
Exactly, so it's a good time to get them in, get some reps, let him get his feet wet. I tell you what I'm really impressed with, too, is Robert Marshall. When you look at this guy, he's 6 feet, 223. I mean, he's a good-sized back, kind of like what they have with Robert Turbin. And he's only a junior, so this team is going to continue to reload and get better.
3rd and 4. Here is Marshall trying to stretch it to the outside. Cannot get the corner turned. He's dropped at the 40-yard line of 4th and 1 coming up. He's a big kid. Junior out of Dallas, downhill guy. And they'll punt it away here on 4th down.
Smart call. You're doing what you need to get done. Like I said, there's a lot of things that Coach Anderson's going to go over with these guys going into next week. But I think it's huge. UNLV came in here and punched them in the mouth. And they woke up and they punched back. And that's what you're seeing in regards to the score and how this game's been going.
High snap. Bennett hangs it up there. Sullivan's going to let it hit at the 10. And out of bounds. A beauty. It doesn't go out of bounds. It takes a roll inside the 1. How about that effort from Bennett? He's pinned him twice inside the 5-yard line. An all-conference candidate.
Look at these punters, period. I mean, they're bumping 59, 60-yard punts and pinning the ball inside the 5. We're seeing an actual show in regards to special teams right now. But look at this ball. This is what you call a home field bounce. Instead of it going right, it decided to go left. And then it decided to stay there. I mean, that's huge. That is absolutely huge.
And the Aggies now looking for another safety, and the Rebels get a little breathing room off the left side. Seafelt, the nose tackle in there to hit Cornett, and it's second down as we near the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, that's one of those situations you knew that wasn't going to happen a second time. I guarantee you, they took pride in what was going on. And you see the big boy right there, Travis Seafit, getting up in there, just plugging things up. 6'2", 299, redshirt freshman.
From Sun City, Arizona. That's a retirement community down there.
It is. It is. If you're under the age of 55, beware when you drive up in there.
I'll bet he's pretty visible in that part of the world. First team All-State offensive lineman in high school. Out of the end zone, that's incomplete as Sherry trying to hook up with his tight end. And now it's third down.
Gutsy call in that kind of situation. It's kind of tough to do that play action in the end zone, but what can you do? You're in a situation you need to pass. Now to the third and long. Offensive line needs to get some time, see if they can get a third down conversion.
3rd and 8. Aggies showing blitz. They're coming after him. Sherry's pass caught for first down. Devontae Davis, tackled by Will Davis, but a first down to the 14-yard line. Davis is a big target at 6'3".
Big target, 6'3", 200 pounds. He's only a sophomore. I mean, this team has a lot. Look at the ball zip. He sees it right. He knows where he's going right off the bat. What's beautiful about that, he threw it before the receiver finished his route. That's what a lot of great quarterbacks learn to do.
Rebels trying to get something positive here on the final drive. That's a pass intended for Herring. He overshoots him near the 45-yard line. Will Davis over there. Here's a look at Herring, who is their backup quarterback. He was a starting receiver last week. Last year, he was the Rebels starting QB. 8 starts. Was injured late in the season. But he's a guy that gives him a quality backup should something go wrong with Sherry. And clearly, this is Sherry's team.
Yeah, and he's a big kid himself, 6'3", 200 pounds. So you can see they got some size on this team. It's just a matter of them learning to gel more and understand the scheme of what they want them to do.
Here comes the pressure. Sherry, Herring can't hang on. That was Will Davis coming in on a blitz.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. He saw the blitz, and he had to force it a little higher than he wanted to. But Sherry is playing well. I mean, look at this. He sees the blitz coming, stands there. He knows he's going to get hit, but still stands there and throws the ball. That's what you want out of your quarterback. That's a big play.
Won't get any easier for the Rebels next week. They'll be in Ruston, Louisiana to take on Louisiana Tech, coming off a bowl season. Another tough environment on the road for UNLV. On 3rd and 10, Sherry. Catch made, fumble. It's loose, and the Aggies cannot control it. It's going to rule it an incomplete pass. It was intended for Taylor Spencer. They said he never had possession.
He never had a chance to have possession. He got his clock rung. Look at this ball right here. Catch, step, bam, right there. He is hit by Connor Williams. Your defensive end is coming back to hit you. That is huge.
They rule it an incomplete pass, and they'll have to punt it away now with 1:16 to go. Rebels are going to fall to 1-4. They are 1-0 in conference play in the Mountain West with that win over Air Force. That was a big win last week for them at home.
Well, when you have a young team, usually your wins are going to come more efficiently at home than on the road. So as they're continuing to grow in this process, they need to continue to learn how to play at home like they've done. 4 close games. They won 1, lost 3. And then when you go on the road, you have to learn to translate that intensity, that fire on the road.
Lansford's punt goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Bobby Houck has a lot of things to work on. And like any freshman quarterback, there are going to be some ups and downs. You can see the upside, though, for this kid. He's got the frame. He is learning the playbook on the fly as a freshman. You got to think his career is going to get better.
Completely. I like his demeanor in the pocket. He doesn't run out of there until the last minute. He's not afraid to take the hit. And he's making good reads. I mean, he had the 1 interception, but outside of that, he's made some good throws.
Harrison stays in at quarterback, hands it off to the left side, and the ball comes free, rolls out of bounds. Sharif Shaw getting the carry. His dad played college football. No, I'm sorry, it was Kelvin Lee. Same number, different name. Kelvin Lee, the true freshman from South Daytona, wearing number 29. Here's where the ball comes out.
As he's running, got to tuck that thing away. You know, if he comes in there, puts a help, gets popped out right there. 24 does a nice job of stripping that ball. And when he strips that ball, you're looking at Fred Wilson. They went backwards. They could have scooped that up and got some points on the board.
Another penalty against Utah State here, Jay. That is something that's really going to stick in the craw of Gary Anderson. It's 9 penalties against the Aggies.
That's insane. I thought it was bad that last Monday night game when there's 24 penalties between the Seahawks and the Packers. But to have 9 penalties in this type of game is not acceptable for Coach Anderson.
Harrison will take a knee, and they will run the final minute off the clock here. Utah State's going to go to 4-1. And they can look ahead now to the wagon wheel game at BYU. Just down the road in Provo. It's a big game in this part of the country.
Listen, there's an old saying, the little brother's always trying to take the big brother down. And so,
well, you were the big brother, so you're speaking from the heart, right?
Yes. So what happens now is they've really established themselves. And think about this for people that don't pay attention. Utah State knocked off Utah. And it was a come from behind. They were ahead. They came back. Then BYU went to Utah. And the officials tried to give the game to BYU, but somehow
Utah won the game.
Utah still won the game. So BYU is looking at this like, if we don't win this game, we will have lost to both of our sister schools outside of Southern Utah, which everybody beat.
And Utah State appears to be the best team in the state. They can prove it outright with the win next week in Provo.
I don't understand why people want to boo. Your team is winning.
Timeout. They're calling time. Gary Anderson taking a timeout here. Final 53 seconds. Or is it UNLV? The Rebels will take the timeout. Gary Anderson will use this opportunity to teach his kids. Good opportunity for Craig Harrison. And tough loss for Bobby Howe because his team was in this game in the third quarter within 7.
They were definitely in 7. And it's 2 things. UNLV kept their streak of no points given up in the third quarter by getting the 6, but giving up nothing. But I thought what was more important about that quarter was the Utah State defense. In those situations, only giving up 6 points when the offense was struggling. That is huge. I think that's a piece he's going to be talking to these kids about.
And then the offense came alive, and did they, in the fourth quarter. Here's Harrison going to throw it downfield, and it's caught for a first down. They moved the chains. A catch by true freshman Bruce Natson out of Oakland Park, Florida. He's a high school teammate of Travis Reynolds.
Big time throw by Craig Harrison on 3rd and forever, and got the conversion. That's pretty much going to end this game.
Now they'll be able to take a knee and run it out.
Yes. What a throw, though. What a throw. And Taj Hassan tried to carry him back before the first down marker, but it don't work that way.
Final seconds ticking off here. The Aggies are going to move to 4-1 as Harrison takes a knee. 565 yards of total offense. Keaton throws for 402. he's getting better and better, just a sophomore.
You know, when you look at exactly what happened, he gets those yards off of a couple of big screens, but still, he's learning to understand how to manage the game. When you look at both sides, Coach Anderson is going to sit up there and tell his guys, listen, yes, we won the game. Yes, we were efficient at points, but we have to play better for 4 quarters, especially if we expect to beat BYU, San Jose State, run the tables, and get ourselves into a bowl game. And then when you look at UNLV, right now, all they're telling themselves, we're a young team. We have to learn from our mistakes. We have to keep ourselves in games better, and I think they're on the right track to get that done.
For Jay Taylor, I'm Trey Bender saying so long from Logan, Utah. The final score, Utah State 35, UNLV 13. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on, watchespn.com, download the Watch ESPN app. Thanks for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.